fact, we're going to go across and get in there the chairman of Maruti Suzuki, Mr. C Bhargava. Thanks, sir, for joining us. It's good of you to speak to us right now as this news has just come out. Siddharth here, and I wanted to quickly just get a sense from you on, firstly, just a basic reaction from you, because this is something I know we've all been talking about now for quite some months.
Well, it's a decision which we were all waiting for quite a long time. And even, government had come out in favor of diesel cars and this cess and things not being done. But I believe there is a 1% cess which has been imposed.
That's right, sir. In fact, the 1% cess is again something that I know that for some time there's been a consensus in a sense from the automakers, and something that the court had recommended and then was adopted in the plea from some of the affected car makers. Would you say that this is now looking like we have clarity on this matter going forward, at least up to the point where we adopt the next round of emission norms that come around in 2020?
It should now continue till BS6, and once there's BS6, I think there'll be no reason to treat diesel cars any different from any other car.
That's a fair point, sir. And on that, of course, there's been so much debate and discussion the last few months. When it comes to some of the vehicles or the policy around these vehicles that got affected, would you say that today, with the court's ruling, there's also now some clarity in terms of where some of the strategy for these automakers can go going forward, Maruti and others?
I think we still have to see what impact this has on the sentiments of people towards diesel cars. I would suspect that the sentiment will come back in favor of diesel cars as it was earlier. And if people are convinced, automobiles, that this has happened on a long-term basis, then I think we'll be back to doing business as usual.
And does that also then therefore apply to the kind of investment and other decisions that we seek from the car makers too?
Sure, because all these investment decisions are related to what you forecast the market to be going forward in the next 5-10 years.
And how do you view that with sort of respect to what happened with the Volkswagen scandal in Europe, where again we have seen a bit of a shift away from diesel? A lot of these investment decisions, of course, have to do with exports as well, I know, for many brands, including Maruti. Would you say that all of that has also now started to settle down?
I'm not quite sure what's happening in Europe on this front, because the Volkswagen matter is certainly not over. And the impact of what happened, I don't think will go away quite so easily.
That's a fair point, and of course you're right. So the overall impact of Volkswagen as a scandal, I think something we'll continue to see unfold for some months. But coming back to then, of course, our own, home market. When it comes to Maruti, of course, I know that when it came to the engine displacements in particular, there was no impact on this ban. But we've heard, of course, from Maruti in the past as well, talking about, with its position in the market, talking about having this clarity going forward. Now, sir, in the past, we've spoken to you as well about how there have been these ad hoc measures or, without almost surprise measures that have been introduced. That's something that's always put the industry on a back foot. That's something else that you would like to see change. Would you like, you mentioned, 5 to 10 year window that's required for decisions to be taken. Would you like to see maybe a 10 to 15 year policy window?
Well, if that would be there, that would be very good. But I don't see such long-term clarity anywhere.
True. In fact, I think we've all waited for that. One last point, sir, before I let you go. Assuming, of course, that the BS6 rollout happens as per the schedule, would you like to believe now that it is going to be more about an emissions-related regime when it comes down to, any kind of taxation or any kind of incentivizing as well? It will be more to do with, emissions and not so much engine size going forward?
See, ultimately, there will be norms and regulations relating to emission, relating to CO2 also, because CO2 is not in the current emission standard. And the industry will have to cater to all those requirements.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Mr. C Bhargava, thank you for speaking to us. I really do appreciate your coming on the phone line and giving us your views. That was, of course, the chairman at Maruti Suzuki speaking about the lifting of the diesel ban. Pankaj, it is significant, and I know we'll probably continue to see some positive ripples for the next few days on this.